Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on just the Arrowverse and just DC TV as a whole, not even just on the CW, but also some stuff on HBO Max potentially going forward as well. So as we know, we do have The Flash wrapping up its 9-season journey in its upcoming season, with the series finale looking to be airing around that like May or early June area, somewhere around that. And of course, we do have Superman and Lois entering its third season as well, with Gotham Knights having its season premiere at the same time as that also. Now, many are predicting Gotham Knights to be a one and done show in regards to it having one season and being done, but that's a wait and see. Now, of course, the brain behind all these shows is that of Greg Berlanti. Now, usually the most he is really involved in these shows is the development stage before season one, and then maybe co-writing the pilot episode. And then maybe and then he would get like the season pitches before each new season and stuff like that. Now, at this point, that would be the heaviest he would be involved, and that's just because he's a busy dude, and I think he's tied for the record for most concurrent shows on the air at the same time, or the one time for a producer a few years back, or even currently, I'm not too sure. He had like a record or something, or tied for the record. But his catalog is shortening over the past couple of years due to what's going on at the CW and stuff like that, and shows just ending, and even some stuff on other networks as well. And that created some interest as to what was happening next, and if he was to divert elsewhere in his career, and what it could mean for shows still happening or in development, mainly attached to the DC brand, that he was attached to. Now, not too long ago, early in the year, it was like a few months back roughly, Greg Berlanti actually got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which does raise his stocks a bit, and many predicted at the time that this would lead to people trying to snatch him up in regards to like representation and all that due to his credentials. And that's what's happened and confirmed over the past couple of days. In this article that breaks it down, does actually give us an update on what could be coming our way in regards to the DCTV stuff that's connected to Greg Berlanti going forward. So I actually edited down the original article from, I think it was the Hollywood Reporter, just to include what I thought was mentioning, because it does just go on a bit. So I've edited it down to the meat and potatoes and what's important in the context of DC TV and all of that. One of Hollywood's most prolific showrunners is switching agencies. Greg Berlanti is signed with CAA for representation in all areas. The architect of the CW's Arrowverse, and more recently, co-creator of Netflix's You and producer of the feature My Policeman, is moving to CAA from WME, where he'd been for 15 years. The news comes as Berlanti has been in the midst of negotiations with Warner Bros. Discovery to extend his $400 million overall deal, which he signed in 2018. It's unclear if he will do so, given that his current deal was made years before the Warner Media Discovery merger. That deal included bonuses for the number of series Berlanti was able to get picked up. The prolific producer who owns the record for most scripted originals on the air or in the works, or so that's what the record was, has seen that volume take a hit following the CW's sale to Nexstar. Berlanti Productions is behind 8 series on the network, but 3 of them, The Flash, Stargirl, and Riverdale, are or have ended this season, and new owner Nexstar has signaled its intentions to pursue lower cost scripted series as it attempts to make the CW profitable. Also of growing concern is Berlanti's future role with DC Studios, given the studio's new leadership and executives' interest in better unifying both its TV and film universes a la Marvel. Berlanti, who ushered in TV's comic book craze with the CW's Arrowverse, has also seen his DC slate shrink to the final season of The Flash, Superman and Lois, and the upcoming Gotham Knights, all for the Nexstar-controlled platform. He's also reworking a Green Lantern series where the new creative direction for HBO Max, the WBD-backed streamer that previously axed Berlanti's Strange Adventures series. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that Berlanti, who turned 50 this year, is looking toward his next chapter in the industry and wanted a team of agents to assist with that change. Or charge, might I say. Berlanti is known to value loyalty and had been with Greenberg and WME for the past 15 years. Still, the move to CAA happens as Berlanti is pushed further into film work with such features as My Policeman at Amazon and Apple TV Plus's Project Artemis. Berlanti Schecter Films, a movie company he formed last year with longtime producing partner Sarah Schechter, has red, white, and royal blue in post-production for Amazon and recently wrapped on Netflix's Atlas. Berlanti Schecter has a first look deal with Netflix. Sources say Berlanti's legal team recently sent a letter to WME that said if the super producer were to leave, the agency would get no commissions on a potential new overall deal should Berlanti indeed re-up at Warner Bros. His current deal expires in 2024, but WBD CEO David Zaslav was eager to extend one of the studio's most important deals. So this is actually like not massive news now. It's more massive in like a year or so if this doesn't progress. So this brings up a couple of questions, and that's, will the DC Studios appointment of James Gunn and Peter Safran be a reason for Greg Berlanti leaving? Because the DC side of things was such an important part to Berlanti's catalog and everything like that. Now, when James Gunn and Peter Safran were appointed, it was like maybe like a few weeks later, I think, or it might have been even like in the same week that they were appointed or like publicly appointed. There were some undisclosed sources coming out through places like Hollywood Reporter and Variety and stuff that said some of the people that had attachments to some of the DC properties weren't that happy with the decision to bring on Gunn and Safran. Now, it was believed that this was mainly the people who were attached specifically to movie projects or characters within the movie. So that would be people like The Rock's production company and even someone like Charles Roven, if you know who he is, because he has ties to franchises involving certain characters and the actors that play those characters, like Wonder Woman and Superman. Now, this could have easily involved Greg Berlanti, who not only has the Arrowverse stuff or the CWDC stuff, but also has shows like Titans, Doom Patrol, and the upcoming Dead Boy Detectives. I was surprised that they didn't even mention those three shows in that article. They must have forgotten that Berlanti's behind them. And of course, he also has Green Lantern on HBO Max, which is being retooled, which they do mention in the article. Also, Greg Berlanti was someone that was actually up for the job, or that was said to be up for the job, that is now filled by James Gunn and Peter Safran. However, reports at the time that brought that up, from like a few months back before Gunn and Safran were brought on, was that Berlanti had actually turned the job down. And this was actually believed to be because it was really a demotion for Berlanti. He's actually taking a step down in his career by taking that job due to how big his production company was in regards to projects attached to it that were currently running or in development. Now, Peter Safran has a production company, but there wasn't that much going on at the time with it outside some of the DC projects in the upcoming year of 2023. So him jumping into that role is probably being on the same level, if not maybe a minor increase in regards to him, in regards to his job and career. But this does bring up a big question in regards to the decision that's going to be made. And it makes you really wonder. There's one show that's hasn't aired yet and has just sort of been back and forth and has had a lot of like interest and hype around it, but nothing's like majorly has happened in regards to moving forward, and that's Green Lantern. So will the Green Lantern HBO Max show, if that is like killed off and not going to happen anymore, could that be the final straw where Belange's like, well, what's the point of me staying now? I can just go somewhere else now. It's been in development, like maybe not hell, like development hell, but like a circus would be a good word to use. Like it just seems like it's jumping everywhere and things are changing and everything like that. Now, the original pitch with the multiple Green Lanterns over different time periods seemed to be like well received by most people. And now it's been changed to a Jon Stewart show solely, which isn't a bad thing. Like Jon Stewart can still make a decent show, but the original pitch sounded better. I think most people agree with that. Just because you weren't just with one character, you got to go, and explore different things and different types of Green Lantern. It just sounded like a better premise for a show, and also explaining the lore of Green Lantern. Where if you focus on one character and try to explain the lore, you might be tripping over some things and everything like that. Like the original pitch just sounded better in my opinion, at the very least. Now, of course, if Berlanti is to leave, it does put a question mark on the shows that are still happening if they do get renewed for next season. Now, does it mean that like they can't air anymore? No, it just means that like there might not be that much of a push by Berlanti to keep them going. Obviously, he'd get money for it and everything like that. But if he's not like specifically attached to Warner Brothers in regards to a deal and everything like that, there wouldn't be that much push. And even like the networks and stuff might be like not wanting to push it either because he's probably not going to develop anything else there. So the shows like Superman and Lois, I guess, specifically, and even some of the Titans and Doom Patrol stuff, there could be some added risk there potentially. Like it doesn't mean it's not going to be like the sword that they die on. It just adds a bit of risk there, and there's already like worrying signs just due to like cancellations and everything, both on the HBO Max side and the CW side. Now, the interesting thing that this article does mention towards the end is that David Zaslav, of course, the CEO of Warner Brothers, it says that he's eager to keep Greg Berlanti on board at Warner Brothers, but of course, there are multiple other projects that Berlanti is attached to, like other streamers like Apple, Netflix, and Amazon and stuff like that, with there actually being a first look deal at Netflix. And we have seen Netflix pick up deals with like multiple names in Hollywood and stuff, like some like minor, some major, and sometimes they're not like full on like exclusive deals, they're just like first look deals and everything like that. So I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if Berlanti didn't renew his deal at Warner Brothers and just focused on Netflix stuff or something like that. But at the same time, it wouldn't be surprising if he did renew it either, due to him being with Warner Brothers for so long, and also even to this day, in regards to like a production deal, Warner Brothers is still the place you want to be. Like it's still the most like prestigious studio there. And obviously it gives you multiple options in regards to network, movie, and streaming and stuff like that. So it'd be the most enticing one to just stay there. But of course, if like things just keep getting cancelled under his feet, or like there's restrictions in regards to what he can and can't do, when there was a bit more flexibility, say like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that, and obviously before that, then maybe he would think about leaving. But there would probably have to be some trust in what is to come over the next like 12 to 18 months in regards to projects he's wanting to do or is currently attached to. So it's a wait and see. As I said, like they said, the deal doesn't end until 2024 with his Warner Brothers one. So it's mainly they want to try and get him renewed by sometime next year in 2023. So it's a wait and see. But if he doesn't renew, then in regards to the new DC stuff, obviously it's probably all going to be Gunn and Safran, because really, if it's not Gunn and Safran, it was Berlanti in regards to DC stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts about this. Does this get you worried? Do you think Berlanti should leave? What are your thoughts on that? A lot of people think Berlanti should have been the person that took over. Do you agree with that? I think you could have used like the model that he used for the Arrowverse in regards to building the DC universe, and it would have been successful. But obviously, a lot of people don't like Berlanti. I like Berlanti in regards to what he's done, but obviously, I think that it probably would have been on par in regards to controversy with certain people in regards to like the James Gunn one as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down there. Should Berlanti have been the DC head, because he was rumored for it? But yeah, just let me know your thoughts down there. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.